The EP Podcast. Heard everywhere podcasts can be found, and always at the EPPodcast.com.
Sitting down here at the 9-foot homemade oak bar, one of the folks that I think all of Evergreen Park want to hear from, not particularly you, Deputy Chief David Linn of the Evergreen Park Police Department. Like they want to know what the police think of these new rules with the e-bikes and the e-scooters. How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you, Chris?
Good. Welcome down here. So this episode brought to you by the First National Bank of Evergreen Park. They have the Total Access checking account. You get free ATMs nationwide and a $300 bonus with qualifying activities. Pair with their mobile banking tools and award-winning customer service. Switching to a true community bank has never been easier. Stop in and see them today on the corner of 95th and Pulaski. The First National Bank of Evergreen Park, member FDIC. We have Frank Murray from Spoke and Vine. We're trying some food. We're drinking some wine. We're talking some library events. But again, Deputy Chief Linn is here with me now. Look, next week, I'm going to talk to some of the guys that are behind the new rules. So you didn't make the rules. It was the village who made it. You got your trustees, your mayor's office. Mark Marzullo and Norm Anderson will be on the next episode. So I'll ask them about where it all came from then. You, on the other hand, your department, you're tasked with now enforcing new rules on e-bikes and e-scooters. First thoughts when you saw it. I mean, I had talked to some of your guys at Picnic in the Park, and some of them were like, man, I wish we could do something about these. So I feel like some of the officers were kind of looking for guidance on these, right?
Sure, absolutely. Yeah, basically our main goal with this is obviously to keep everybody safe, not only the kids on the e-scooters and the e-bikes, but also the motorists on the roadways. I can't tell you how many times I've heard a driver come up to me and say they almost hit a kid on a bike.
I almost did it. I mean, seriously, I've driven down 99th Street and a herd comes across the street and they're all small and some of them have like another kid hanging off the back of them and they don't stop at the stop sign and they just move right through and you see cars throwing their brakes on. So I got that for sure.
Yeah, they're definitely zipping around out there. So really what we're trying to do is just prevent those tragic accidents from happening. We're just trying to keep the kids safe. We're asking the parents for their cooperation. We need their help. We need them to talk to their kids, make sure that they know how important it is to stay safe out here. So the parents are going to be playing a really big role in this too. And then as far as the enforcement part, basically you could just get an ordinance ticket if you're found in violation for this. And then that would require you to attend a mandatory hearing where you'd see the hearing officer, and then the hearing officer would determine the penalty for the violation. Okay,
well, I want to get into that beforehand, just so that anybody who doesn't know what the rules are, I'll try to surmise them. You tell me if I'm off here. Essentially, if you're non-licensed, you're under 16 years old, you're not riding any e-bikes or e-scooters anymore in Evergreen Park. You're not riding them on the sidewalk, you're not riding them in a parking lot, you're definitely not riding them in the street. You have to be licensed. With the bikes, it's licensed in 16. With the e-scooters, it's licensed in 18. Plus, you don't want the high-speed ones. There's different classes of these. You can see it on the Village website, but there's top speeds that they can reach. So even if you're licensed, the ones that are super fast aren't allowed. And then essentially it's stay on roads that are 25 and under is the posted speed limit. So you're not riding it down 95th Street. You're not riding it down Kedzie. That's pretty much it. I think
you hit it on the head right
I mean,
there.
It's much longer when they post it on Facebook and stuff. But
that was a good summary of it.
That's basically the rule, right?
Yes, that's it.
Okay, so how do you enforce that then? Because, just like I was thinking about this the other day. I was like, I have a kid that just got his driver's license. He doesn't look very different now than he did 2 years ago when he couldn't have had a driver's license, right?
Sure.
And the police, they're driving along. They see him drive by in a car. They're probably like, well, that kid's young, but if he isn't doing anything wrong, I don't have a reason to pull him over. So how do you kind of figure out, like, wait a minute, that looks like somebody who's too young to be on this bike? Are they going to be pulling the scooters and bikes over? How do you enforce this?
So basically, they're just going to be looking for what the parameters of the ordinance say. So a big one, I think you'll see our kids riding on the sidewalk. So I think that'll be a good opportunity for the officers to educate them, basically change their behavior. And realistically, like I said, the big thing on this is we're just trying to keep everybody safe. So, and then, like I said before, the enforcement part, we are going to have, this was passed last Monday. So we used all of last week and we're using all of this week to really spread the word and get as much information out as we can.
Almost like a grace period. I mean, would you say that? I mean, like if you were, scooping somebody up 5 minutes after it got posted, that'd have been pretty rough because nobody knows the rule first.
And not only that, starting September 1st, we're going to have a 2-week warning period where the officers will be out there educating the public and then issuing warnings. And then come September 15th, the warning period is going to end and, somebody could get a ticket.
Okay.
So I will say we're hoping for 100% compliance, so we don't have to issue any tickets, but we'll just have to wait and see what happens.
How do you issue tickets when they're kids? I saw this question on Facebook, and I was like, I know that they don't have ID, and they're kids. So is it like when you get a kid? Like I thought, like one idea would be like, okay, here's a kid. Tell me your name. We're holding your bike. Your parents are going to come down and pick it up, and that's who ends up with the fine. Is that kind of how that works?
We can
or what do you do?
We can issue juveniles ticket. We have ways to identify them, but also when we issue a juvenile ticket, we'll be contacting their parents. So the parents are going to get notified. The parents are also going to be held responsible to attend the hearing with the juvenile. And then once they're at the hearing, they'll see the hearing officer, and then the hearing officer is going to determine the penalty for it. So there are ways to do it.
Okay. So now the other question I've seen a lot of is just put a strain on you guys doing your job. Are you suddenly now tasked with chasing herds of children on e-bikes around and unable to do what you normally do?
Right. No, this is not going to put a strain on the officers. We have such a fantastic group, and the crazy things that they deal with on a daily basis, and the respect and the professionalism that they show, it's truly outstanding. It's commendable, and I can't say enough good things about them. So to answer your question in short, no. Okay,
because there's, it's interesting. There's specifications like on all of these bikes and scooters. And what I found really interesting, I looked at a lot of the social media comments, and I don't know if everybody understands, like, police officers are almost like gearheads. Like every time I did a ride along as a 911 dispatcher with the county guys, every time I was around my dad's, friends, he was a police officer for 34 years with the city of Chicago. They knew a lot about cars. They knew all the little specifics, like that car is just a little bit too low, or that car is actually still street legal, even though a lot of people wouldn't think it. A lot of them really understand vehicles. Is it the same thing with these bikes? Are you noticing your guys kind of can tell, like, that one's a high speed one, that one's not, because they've been around them enough?
Yeah, there are some guys that are better at it, definitely better than me. I actually had to go to the bike shop and take a look because there are so many different kinds. It definitely gets confusing. But there's definitely some officers that are really good at it. But like I said, we, in today's age, we can, hop on the phone or hop on the computer and just research it. But the good thing with the bikes is that they are required to have a label on it that tells them how fast they go, the watts. So that'll be a good, helpful hint for the officers.
I don't want to say they're excited about it because that would be like they're gunning to get these kids. But I mean, after watching probably a lot of close calls, after riding down the street and seeing a herd of kids themselves and not having any guidance in any way to kind of handle it. I mean, I would ask police officers all the time, like, what are the rules on this? And they're like, right now, we don't really have one on this. Are they relieved? I mean, what are you getting feedback wise from your guys?
Yeah, absolutely. And now that they have a little bit of a summary, which you gave early on today, that'll help them too. But like I said,
the Chris Lanuti summary of these rules.
It was
You're going to get back to him and be like, listen how he surmised that, because that was pretty quick how he kind of broke that down.
Just listen to Chris. He knows it all. No, but, the officers nowadays, they adapt so easily to change. And with all these new law changes that have come into effect within the past 4 or 5 years, and I can attest to it, there's been so many of it. The officers really just take everything in stride. They're fantastic. But I really do think it's going to give the officers an opportunity not only to educate the public, but also really change some people's behaviors. And realistically, we're really just trying to prevent those tragic injuries from happening. We're just trying to keep the kids safe.
Yeah, no, and I get that. I think that's what's come across with you talking to me about this, is that, one, it's about safety, but two, it's not about getting them. I mean, you want to first teach. You got grace periods here that are kind of built in where you're basically educating. It doesn't even sound like you're going to start issuing tickets till the middle of the month of September. And the idea is what we're trying to do is just make sure that your kids aren't essentially on these bikes getting hurt.
Exactly. Yeah, we don't want to see a traffic accident with a kid that got hit on a bike.
Is there anywhere that kids can use it right now, or is it essentially?
So basically, they can use them on private property. So maybe somebody's got a really big backyard or a real big driveway. They can take it for a spin, but other than that, they're just going to have to wait.
Before you get out of here, I just want to say I'm moving, and I've been living here on 99th for a while. And sometimes, I'm going to admit this, sometimes on a Friday or Saturday night, I just sit on the porch and I watch your guys work. And they are very efficient.
They're out there.
They are out there. They are very efficient. They are moving around at night. If I sit on my porch on a Friday or Saturday night, I'm going to see a squad on a regular basis going in one direction or another, just patrolling the neighborhood at night. I don't think people realize how active you guys are in the community, and that's why you don't get a lot of really high crime incidents that are in Evergreen Park.
Yeah, knock on wood. We can't say enough good things about our officers. They're out there day in and day out, and they're doing it. And their hard work is what is keeping Evergreen Park so safe and so special. So they're doing great.
Awesome. Deputy Chief David Linn of the Evergreen Park Police Department, thanks for coming by.
Thanks, Chris. You're the best.
Building relationships, supporting the community, and service. These are the things that Country Financial stands for. They're more than just an office you may pass by as you drive through Evergreen Park. They're neighbors who lend a helping hand and support the fabric of your community, including charitable organizations, sports, financial education, and civic organizations. And since Country is already your neighbor, they want to get together and chat. Call your local Country Financial representative, Mike Thauer, today at 708-425-1559 to talk about the things that are important to you and how he can help you protect them. It is now time for your EP podcast, Word on the Street, brought to you by Spoken Vine Wine Bar and Bottle Shop, northeast corner of 95th and Kedzie. We're going there in just moments to hang out with Frank Murray, try out a dish, and drink a little bit of wine. And you can see everything they have going on at SpokenVineWines.com. Remember, Labor Day, September the 1st, James J. Sexton Park, the City Lights Orchestra, Rich Daniels Band. He's an EP guy. He's been on the show a few times before. They're taking the stage at 5:30 p.m. with fireworks to follow. Food and drinks will be available on site for purchase. And Yoga in the Park is beginning on September the 6th over at James J. Sexton Park in the Pergola, and it will run every Saturday in September. It is a free community event sponsored by Mayor Kelly Burke. Bring your own yoga mat. It goes from 9 to 10 a.m. every Saturday. And we're hitting fall. The farmers market is the place to be. Remember, it is still going on each and every Thursday, 8 a.m. until 1 p.m. at Yukich Field, and it runs through the end of October. Finally, CSX is ruining everything on 95th Street. You've noticed it by now. It's closed at 95th and Troy. They should be done by the end of the week, and then they're going to mess up the same line right on 103rd Street. Those trains can just do whatever they want to, can't they? Let's go have some wine. The EP podcast at Spoke and Vine for our monthly chat with Frank Murray from the Evergreen Park Public Library. A little bit different view here this time around.
Yeah, much different view.
Yeah, bellied up to the bar.
Right at the bar.
Yeah.
Beautiful bar.
I'm going to miss my bar, so now I want to sit at other people's bars when we record.
That's what you got to do.
If I look haggard, there's two reasons. One, tomorrow's moving day. So I've spent the last 3-4 days getting ready to move out of the house and leave the 9-foot homemade oak bar. And don't worry, we're still in Evergreen Park. The show will continue. Everybody's very nervous about this. Does this mean that you're, like, everybody thinks when I'm moving,
I didn't know if I could talk to you today.
It's like, people think I'm going to Florida. I'm not going to, I'm going down the block. Like, I'm still here, okay? But it's been a thing.
You're not moving to Indiana?
No. I'm right here in Evergreen Park. I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to be in Evergreen Park forever, so don't worry about that, okay? And then the second thing is we said goodbye to the bar yesterday with a big party.
Emotional.
Yeah.
Emotional. Yeah.
You didn't get an invite.
I didn't get an invite. Yeah.
No,
I was like, wait, what's
it's
going on?
fault.
What party?
No. So, like,
what party?
I don't throw a lot of parties.
Yeah.
So I went on the Facebook and I just put in there, like, I'm having a party. And then I stupidly said, stop by anytime between noon and midnight, which meant there was just a stream of people for 12 hours. They can come for a couple hours, then they leave. I'm still there.
You're still there.
Yeah, so that's the other reason I'm
still
haggard,
enjoying the day.
Yeah, I spent 12 hours at a bar yesterday. That's not a good thing at all, Frank. And you get invited to the next party we have there.
Cheers.
Yeah. Okay.
Sounds good.
Let's bring in.
You have to invite the librarian.
Reed and Bridget. Just Bridget. They got food here at Spoken Vine. You know, I've been to a lot of places lately in the area, but I am still back here all the time. I was just here this past weekend or a week ago, right? I was sitting in here.
Yeah.
I get in here a lot.
Yeah. We like to catch up.
Yeah, for sure. They were in the bar. You guys came to the party yesterday. I remember you.
We
vaguely.
did.
Yeah.
It was a good time.
They got an invite.
It was a good time. We got to hear some old Chris radio stories. It was fun.
Is there a good one?
There's lots of good ones.
There were a few current radio people that were in the basement, like people you hear on Chicago radio. They heard some stuff. They heard about the old days from a few of them while they were down at the bar. And you showed up at the perfect time because they brought pinzas and meatballs and wine. Like they showed up like the party was starting to kind of slow down, and they walked in with food and booze, and it was like Reed and Bridget just reignited the party.
When the pinzas and the meatballs come, I mean,
Fixes a lot of problems.
They knew exactly what I wanted. Like I didn't ask for it, but they knew it. Now they didn't bring this, and I got to be honest with you, I'm nervous about this.
Nervous?
I am not a carrot eater. Like this is a thing.
This is why we brought it out today, because I know that you've had them before.
they're delicious.
Yes, and you have not and are too scared to order them.
You want to know why I'm scared of carrots? I'll give you a story. You get to hear a Chris story. My mother would have told this story if she was still at the bar when you guys got there yesterday. When I was little, I was in love with carrots so much that I would eat them every day until I turned orange. Like I was a little 2-year-old and my mother took me to the doctor, like he's orange, and the doctor said he's eating too many carrots. Like that's how much I loved carrots. It changed my skin color as a child. And now I don't eat them. So this is a big
you eating
deal.
the whole bushel of carrots?
Yeah,
or what?
I think that's what was happening.
Ease you back in.
Ease it back.
Yeah.
This is much better.
Did you have glasses at 2? Because I noticed you have glasses now.
No, I had
Stop
great
eating
eyesight.
carrots.
That's the problem.
You could probably use a
More
few carrots.
All right, tell me about these carrots because they're not just carrots. They're almost like candied, right? Like tell me what these are.
They are roasted with Burberry, which is like a East African spice. There's a lot of smoky and heat components to that, but we also roast them with honey to sweeten them up. Yes, there's a little bit of red onion. Don't be scared, it's not that much. It's over our whipped feta dip, which is nice and tangy and cool, which helps because without that the carrots can be pretty spicy. And then also topped with our candied nuts. So it's a sweet treat, but it's also like savory and tangy, and I think we're going to turn you back onto carrots.
Yes.
All right. Did you notice?
They're the best carrots.
Do you notice the onion dig? Did you hear the onion dig in there?
Illinois, everywhere.
Oh, I'm sure they're great. Did you hear the dig though she made? She made a dig about the fact because she knows they brought
Brought that up last week though.
when they brought the pinzos over the Sicilian, they did half without onions. She goes, we did half without onions for you, and she's been giving me a hard time ever since I said that I'm not a big onion person.
There wasn't even that many onions on it to begin with.
Okay, all right. Let's
Just making sure you're
Let's
good.
try this out. I've learned from the past that I'm supposed to put a little bit on my plate, not just eat directly from it because it weirds Frank out. Okay, he's like, oh, don't just stick your fork in there. We're sharing this meal. Manners. So yeah, I gotta have manners. I'll put some of that on a plate. And all right, so.
Oh my gosh.
I think I got all the parts here. I think I have even the nuts, the candy, all that stuff.
Looking good.
Okay, all right. And I'm again. Ooh, there's a crunch. I thought that the way it was done, like these would not be, like I didn't think there'd be a crunch to this. I thought these would be really soft.
For a lot more.
Yeah.
Frank loves the carrots.
They're so good.
Wow. I mean, that's not like a carrot. You've done something to the carrot to alter the carrot into like a sweet treat that also has a spice in there.
Yeah, that's the Burberry.
That's really good. I get it now. This is one of your big sellers, isn't
This
it?
is one of our signature dishes. And so this came out of an event, right? So we had bacon dates as one of our food items on the event, but there were some people that don't eat pork or meat at all. So I needed something that was vegetarian to swap out for the bacon dates. In come the carrots. More than half the people ordered them as an option, and they were a huge hit, so we put them on the menu. And that was over a year ago. We do have some events coming up right now, and some of those food items are turning out to be the next big hit. So
The events are where you guys make the menu. I've noticed that, and you get all the really good stuff. What about the wine here? Tell me about this one.
So for the wine this month, it's actually one of our wine club wines. It's from Valencia, Spain, up in the northwest corner. This is from Cellar de Roar. He's a natural winemaker. This guy named Pablo lives on a hillside. He is super non-interventionalist. He barely even waters his grapes. His whole theory is about terroir recuperation through using drought-resistant indigenous varietals. So this is Verdil, Macabo, and Pedro Jimenez are the grapes on it. They hand select all these grapes at night, then they do all their maceration in these big clay amphoras, then they age it underground on the lees where it gets this nice creamy buttery flavor in these big clay amphoras. So it's like you were making wine 6,000 years ago. But light, crisp, has a little bit of butteriness to it, touch of cream through the middle. It's a fantastic, fantastic wine.
That's what I was going to say. It's light and it's refreshing. Okay, and that's the first thing I thought of when I took a sip of it. Have you tried the wine yet, or are you just going to chow down on the carrots?
I'm just going to eat the carrots.
Wow.
Let me
he
tell you
loves
this.
these carrots.
So when my wife and I, when we come up here, we always look at each other and we go, it's time for the carrots.
I was waiting for
this is the
I
only,
love you, but it's time for the carrots is what they say.
The only
they look
place
into
where
each
we're like,
other's eyes.
let's order the carrots, come on.
They look into each other's eyes and they're like, carrots.
Carrots.
Like that's their love language, the two of them, is carrots
These
and
are
smoking vine.
amazing carrots.
Yeah, we could do that for you.
All right, guys. Well, thank you so much. We have something to eat while we sit here and talk about the library, and I like this view. We might do more at the bar.
Sounds good.
Awesome.
Thanks.
Thank you so much.
Lots of events on our website. We've got a tasting event on Sunday the 7th. We're doing a walk-around tasting, and then we have a Paul Hobbs event at the end of September as well.
Okay.
We're doing Mexican wines right now.
Right.
So.
Oh, Mexican wines, huh?
Yeah.
You're featuring them. Awesome.
Yeah, Mexico, then Argentina.
Then Argentina. They move around here. There's so many different wines. I love it here. And if you pop in on any given day, you might just see me sitting here eating the carrots now. I got to add that to my list.
Cheers, guys. Have fun. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Delicious.
It's really good. I mean, it's good. I mean, you have to work now. You don't just sit around and eat.
I don't like
You have
this.
things you have to
You gotta let
have
me
that
eat
carrot,
this stuff.
have that carrot, and then you have to. I mean, the library board, the gang of 7 who like run the library, who are your bosses, are going to get frustrated if you're not sitting there talking about
I gotta
library
restructure my
events.
EP podcast contract. I need to be able to eat. Gotta be able to eat, Chris.
Okay.
Too much deliciousness.
What's the big thing in September? I mean,
All right.
like kids are back in school now.
Back in
They're
school,
going to be
Chris.
showing up, and they use the library. I know there's rooms, and they do studying together and all that other stuff. There's resources there. There's 3D printer. You're geared up, I would imagine, right now for the kids back in school.
We are geared up. It's that time of year again, and we're ready to go. The big thing that I want to share with everybody is our back to school resources.
Okay.
We have them for all ages, from little kids all the way up to adults. We're an institution of lifelong learning, and we make sure we cover that for all ages. The big resource that I want to make sure everybody is aware of, I've mentioned it before on the podcast, but we have an online tutor resource where you can log in. It's called BrainFuse. Help Now. You can log on anytime from 2 to 10 p.m., and you can connect with a live tutor. And you select the subject, you select a grade, they'll sit there and they'll walk you through a math problem that you don't know how to figure out.
Okay.
I got a 6th grader, and math is not my strong suit. So we have utilized this a couple times when Dad gets
how
too
old
frustrated.
do they go? Like, I mean, will they
through
can they-
college.
Through college.
Through college.
See, that's the thing. Like, I got a kid now who wants to be an electrical engineer. He's taking honors calculus.
Oh, yeah.
And I couldn't help him
no.
if I tried.
I don't know.
I have no
That's
idea.
another language. So
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, log online. They will help you. And what's really cool too is, let's say you have an English paper or history paper, you can upload that paper, and within 48 hours you'll get a response with a 2-page response. One with some generalities, like watch your punctuation, and then the second page with more specifics on related to the paper.
I love that.
It's an
I like
awesome
that- I
resource.
like that
All
better-
free with your Evergreen Park Library card.
I like that better than the AI route that all the kids are using. Like, they're letting AI check their work and
Yeah,
stuff.
don't use AI.
Don't use
No.
that. This is better. You might learn a little bit.
Use
while
your
you're
own
using it.
thoughts, develop
Yeah.
your own thoughts, put them on paper, and then have somebody help you develop those.
There you go, kids.
Way to
Sage
go.
advice.
And we're
from Mr. Carrots.
from Mr. Carrots.
Frank Murray.
There we go. And a big shout out to District 124. We were able to get this resource through a community grant that we've been partnering with District 124 for the past several years. But it'll help anybody K through college.
Awesome.
K
Very,
through college.
very cool.
Mhm.
So,
It's awesome.
you have any events this month, or just a basic library program, which
Well,
is not really basic. It's pretty exceptional. But I mean, like, what else?
We have one of your favorite events.
Oh, it must involve booze, because it's one of my favorite
That's
events.
another one. I got another one for
All
you.
right.
But this is one of your favorites that you tell me every time that we do this.
Oh, you're doing forgiveness?
Yes.
That's just my favorite thing. Every time the library does this, I go, why would you ever pay your fines? Just wait for fine forgiveness month. And he goes, we may never do this again. I'm like, yes, you are. Do it every 6 months. Like, so the moment your book is overdue, you should just wait until forgiveness time.
September is National Library Card Sign-Up Month. So to celebrate, we're doing two things. One, you come in, sign up for a new card, renew your card, or replace your lost card or whatever. You will get entered into a drawing, and we're going to put together a really great book-themed basket, drawing basket. So we got some incentive for you to come on in and get you sign up for your library card, win something fun, while you get the greatest card in the world that you can have.
The greatest card.
The greatest card in the world. Yeah. We're not going to charge you overrate fees or 18%
You can have an
per
American
transaction.
Express black card, or you can have a library card.
I'm going with the library card.
Card's the greatest card
Access
in the world.
to so much more than the what card?
That's what I think.
I'm not familiar with this card.
That's what I think of all the time.
And then two, if you have any late fees that are associated with Evergreen Park library items, come in with $1, get all those wiped free. Right.
There you go. For just $1. For $1. Like I said, the moment you owe them money, just wait for the forgiveness month. That's it. And for $1, you wipe it all free. I don't know how you make any money over there, Frank. Your business model is a little off.
Well, that's the thing. We're not trying to make money. We're trying to give people the resources and access to education that they need.
That's why I couldn't do your job. I was just trying to find a way to make money at it.
I know, right? Yeah. You'd be like, fees, we're increasing them. Let's go. You're late one day.
There would definitely be no forgiveness at all. No, there'd be no forgiveness. Instead, I'd have library police that would show up at your door, knock on it, and be like, "Hey, you owe money."
I mean, I would love for us to be able to go fine free. That would be wonderful. That would be wonderful.
All right. So what else?
We got a whole ton of events, Chris. We got events for kids, teens, and adults.
Let's start with the adults. We always end with the adults. Can we go adults first this time?
Yeah. And you mentioned you like your beer, right?
I do love beer.
Yeah.
You know what?
I heard you also enjoy your bourbon, so we might have to do something bourbon related.
I enjoy my bourbon so much. The day after that party I was talking about, I have a glass of water. You only see me take like one sip of this wine. Have you noticed that? Like I
wasn't going to say
I'm
anything.
in a state. You know, sometimes I put on a nice collared shirt and I got my contacts in and my hair's done. I'm wearing a baseball hat with my glasses on and a T-shirt that says "Who's your daddy" on it. That's how we're doing this interview today.
I didn't see that.
With a crawdad on it.
That's great.
That's the mood we're in today.
That's
day after the party. Yeah.
That is a mood.
Yeah. So as I sip my water and try to rehydrate, tell me about your alcoholic event.
Yes. Yeah. So we're having a German beer event. We're having a beer judge and writer Marty Nankel coming in to tell us about how German beer cultures influence beer industries, and you'll get to enjoy some samples.
Yeah, you know, German beer is so interesting. First, they have the German purity law, so they only use 4 ingredients. They don't do anything else, and they can make so many different varieties just doing that, so you know it's natural. And then the other thing is a German Pilsner, I've been told by almost every brewer that I've ever interviewed across every podcast, is the hardest beer to make because it has to be perfect. If you screw up just a little bit, you'll ruin the entire thing. Whereas like with an IPA, you screw it up a little bit, and all of a sudden it's an East Coast IPA because it's cloudy. You could just there's room for error. There's like no room for error in a Pilsner.
With the Pilsner.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, that's what we're going to learn more, and you should be able to come and help out with that presentation.
Well, you said there were samples, right?
Yeah. Oh, there's samples.
Okay, that's why I'm coming. I already know all the history of the German beers. I'm coming for the samples.
So we'll just pencil you in there.
Just pencil me in. Yeah, just pencil me in. That's a free event, right? I get free beer?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
No, hold on a second.
It's a free event.
It's a free event, and you're handing out beer.
We're handing out samples, yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Okay, it's great.
I don't think you'll experience what you experienced the other night at your party.
No, but if I bring my kids to the event, I get their samples too, right?
21 and over, buddy.
Oh, they can't come just to learn about beer?
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. 21 and over.
Because
we're serving the alcohol.
I thought I had a workaround.
Uh-huh.
Chris came with his 3 kids and just lined them up, and then he just took all their samples because they were too young. Father of the Year.
Always looking to beat the system there. Always looking.
What else do we have?
We got a bunch of fun stuff. So I'm a big sports fan, and this is I think my 4th year now at Evergreen Park running our fantasy football league.
Okay.
We're going to have our draft on Tuesday, September 2nd at 7 p.m.
Well, that's when my draft is.
We have at least one spot open, so you need to make sure you go online, evergreenparklibrary.org, and register.
All right, Library Fantasy Football.
Library Fantasy Football. When the White Sox were really good.
2005?
The 1959 Go-Go Sox.
Oh.
That's going to be on Thursday, September 11th at 6:30 p.m. We got writer and sports historian Charles Billington coming in to talk about the 1959 White Sox.
Okay, that's a good. It's a good team. Mm-hmm. I knew a lot about that team as a kid because they hadn't won anything until 05. Mm-hmm. So as a kid, that's all my dad talked about was 59.
Those are your players.
Yeah,
Minosa.
Right. Louis Aparicio, Nellie Fox.
Oh, Nellie Fox.
Jim Landis.
Yeah,
see, I'm just throwing names out. I can make up anything.
Who's their number one pitcher on that team?
That's Billy Pierce.
There's
an autographed Billy Pierce in the basement bar.
And there's an EP connection with Billy Pierce.
Oh, give me your connection, and I'll tell you my Billy Pierce story.
He lived in Evergreen Park.
Okay.
For many years.
He did. Yeah. And then he did, when I was a kid, he used to go hang out at Hayes Park in the Tommy Moore Parish, just over there in Chicago, just to the north of Evergreen.
Cool.
And my dad was sitting there, we were in the park, I was a kid, and he goes, that's Billy Pierce. And he had to tell me who Billy Pierce was, and then I walked up and I had a big conversation with Billy Pierce, and he was so excited that a small child knew who he was that he signed a baseball for me.
Awesome.
And I still have it on display.
That's awesome.
And I have the autographed picture as well from him. So
awesome.
I never got to see him play, but I got a lot of Billy Pierce memorabilia. That's what happens with the local guys. You bump into them, you get the memorabilia.
Yeah. Well, you don't get that with today's athletes.
No, you don't.
They're not living in your suburb.
They're not.
Your
and
local.
That's the coolest thing back then is I ran into John Cangelosi in the bank parking lot at 83rd and Kedzie.
Really?
As a kid, yeah. He was trying to figure out how ATMs worked. That's when ATMs were brand new. And John Cangelosi was trying to figure out how to get the thing to work. He's like, this stupid machine.
What's your pin?
Then you go out to his car. He had one of those old 1980s beater cars. And he opens up the big metal trunk and he's just got all this. Just in case anybody ever recognized him, he just hands me a bunch of stuff. He's like, here, kid. Here's a hat. Here's a glove. Here's a bat. Signed picture.
Take it.
He just pulls it all out of his trunk and hands it to you. Those were the days when you bumped into him. Mm-hmm. All right, so what else we got?
We got a couple 3D printing classes coming up. We have a 3D printing orientation on Tuesday, September 9th at 6:30, and we have a 3D printing workshop on Tuesday, September 23rd at 6 p.m. You're going to be making a key rack. You're going to design it, and we'll print it out for you. We have a DIY crafts with Donna. That's on Monday, September 15th at 6:30 p.m. We're going to be making glass bead succulents. And our ever popular, this is got to be our 4th or 5th year of hosting this, the Manhattan Short Film Festival. This is sponsored by the Library Foundation and was a big favorite of longtime EP resident Helen Cooperson. We're going to be showing the Manhattan Short Film Festival. So it's a series of short films. They range from 5 minutes to 20 minutes, depending, give or take. And there's usually about 13, 14, 15 films. We're going to be showing them on Thursday, September 25th at noon and 5 p.m., on Saturday, September 27th, 10 a.m., and then on Monday, September 29th, we'll have multiple showings, 9:30, noon, 3 p.m., 6 p.m. You can register online or just stop in and drop in. You also get to vote on these.
Okay.
So your vote helps determine the number one Manhattan Film Short Festival, and then whoever is nominated on the first one, the number one film, is entered into the Oscars.
Really? Mm-hmm. And you get to be a vote in this.
You get to be a voter.
Well, that's kind of cool. Mm-hmm. I might come and participate with that as well.
It's really great. There's some fantastic films.
That's awesome. That's very, very neat.
Mm-hmm. One of our most popular programs last year was our program called Reading Buddies.
Okay.
And Reading Buddies is for kids K through 5th to come in and work on their reading and literacy skills.
Okay.
And what made this event possible was all the fantastic high school volunteers that we had that made this possible. The goal for this year is for every 2 students that we have, we want 1 volunteer.
And what does that volunteer do?
They just sit down and read with the student.
Okay.
And help them, pronounce words, read through it, talk a little bit about some story development, some simple questions, but to promote that reading literacy.
Okay, that's awesome.
And so we're looking for volunteers.
All right, if you're a kid,
you can register. If you're a high school student looking to do some fun and have a good time and teach some kids, this is a fantastic opportunity We're having a informational session on Thursday, September 4th at 6:30 p.m. You have to register, so go on evergreenparklibrary.org. But it's a great opportunity for high school students, especially now every high school student now has to do some type of community service or volunteerism. So this is a great opportunity for you to do that. Thank you to Spoken Vine.
Thank you to Spoken Vine. Thank you, Frank.
All right, sounds good.
Cheers.
Cheers.
It's the EP Podcast. All things Evergreen Park. It's the EP Podcast. Evergreen Park.